Hello, in this lecture we will find out the value of angle x using two different methods. In the drawing we have triangle PQR. We know that QS equals to SR. We also know that angle PSQ, this angle equals to 45 degrees. Angle PQS equals to 3x and angle PRS equals to x, and we want to find out the value of angle x. So we will start with the first method. We will define angle QPS as alpha and angle SPR as beta, and what is the value of angle PSR? We define angle PSR as y, and we know that the sum of the angles on one side of a straight line is equal to 180 degrees, so the sum of the angles on the upper side of the straight line QR must be equal to 180 degrees at point S, that is to say 45 degrees plus y must be equal to 180 degrees. So I'll write it down. So 45 degrees plus the size of angle y must be equal to 180 degrees. Here we will subtract from this equation 45 degrees, and we will get that y equals to 180 degrees minus 45 degrees is equal to 135 degrees. So we found out that angle y equals to 145 degrees. So we can substitute angle y by 135 degrees. In the next step, I will present to you a new rule. It is actually the law of sines. According to the law of sines, is true in any triangle, so we can write down that in any triangle if we have a triangle we know that the size or the length of this side is equal to A units. The length of this side of the triangle is equal to B units, and the length of this side of the triangle is equal to 3 units, and we also know that this is angle A, this is angle B, and this is angle C. Then according to the law of sines, A over sine A equals to B over sine B equals to C over sine C. I'll repeat again, according to the law of sines, A over sine A equals to B over sine B equals to C over sine C. We can derive from this formula that A over sine A equals to B over sine B and if we divide this equation by B and we will multiply it by sine A, we will get that A over B equals to sine A over sine B. So what is the meaning of this equation or formula? The meaning is that the ratio between the side lengths of any triangle is equal to the ratio between the opposite angles. I'll repeat again. The ratio between the side lengths of any triangle is equal to the ratio between the opposite angles. Okay? So we return to our original drawing. In our original drawing, we can create the formula that states that PS over SQ equals to PS over SR. I'll repeat again, according to equation number 1, PS over SQ equals to PS over SR. So actually, according to the explanation to the equation that A over B equals to sine A over sine B, That is to say, the ratio between the side lengths of the triangle is equal to the ratio between the opposite sides. It means that PS over SQ will be equal to sine 3x over sine alpha. And PS, but first of all, I want to clarify equation number 1. Actually, PS over SQ equals to PS over SR because of the fact that according to what is given us in the question, QS equals to SR. QS equals to SR. So, and we also know that it equals to PS over SR. So we focus on triangle PSR. On triangle PSR, the ratio between the side lengths, that is to say PS over SR, is equal to the ratio between the opposite angles, that is to say it equals to sinus x over sinus beta. We also know that the sum of the angles in any triangle is equal to 180 degrees. So if we focus on triangle PQS, we will get that the sum of the angles in triangle PQS is equal to alpha plus 3x plus 45 degrees, and it equals to 180 degrees. I'll repeat again. The sum of the angles in triangle PQS must be equal to 180 degrees, that is to say alpha plus 3x plus 45 degrees equals to 180 degrees. Here we will subtract 45 degrees and also 3x from this equation, equation number 2, and we will get that angle alpha equals to 180 degrees minus 3x plus 45 degrees. Likewise, in triangle PSR, the sum of the angles must be equal to 180 degrees. That is to say, beta plus x plus 135 degrees must be equal to 180 degrees. I'll repeat again. Beta plus x plus 145 degrees must be equal to 180 degrees. According to the rule that the sum of the angles in any triangle is equal to 180 degrees. Here we will subtract from equation number 3 135 degrees and also x, and we will get that according to equation number 3, beta equals to 180 degrees minus 135 degrees is 45 degrees minus x. So we found the values of angles alpha and beta in terms of x, so we can substitute now alpha and beta in this equation number 1, by the values that we found for alpha and beta in equations 2 and 3. So we'll do it now and we will get that sinus 3x over sine alpha, and alpha equals to 180 degrees minus 3x plus 45 degrees according to equation number 2. And it equals to sinus x over sinus beta, and beta equals to 45 degrees minus x. We have the trigonometric identity that states that sinus 180 degrees minus theta equals to sinus theta. We use this trigonometric identity for the expression that sinus 180 degrees minus 3x plus 45 degrees must be equal to sinus sinus 3x plus 45 degrees, according to the trigonometric identity that sine 180 degrees minus theta equals to sine theta. So we change the equation number 1, sinus 180 degrees minus 3x plus 45 degrees, to sine 3x plus 45 degrees. And we will get that according to equation number 1, sine 3x over sine 3x plus 45 degrees sine 3x plus 45 degrees equals to sine x over sine 45 degrees minus x. So according to equation number 1, we got that sine 3x over sine 3x plus 45 degrees equals to sine x over sine 45 degrees minus x. Here we'll cross multiply equation number 1, and we will get that sinus 3x or times sinus 45 degrees minus x sinus 45 degrees minus x equals to sin x times sin 3x plus 45 degrees. Okay, so now we will multiply this equation by 2 and we will get that 2 sine 3x to sine 3x times sine 45 degrees minus x equals to equals to 2 sine x times sine 3x plus 45 degrees. And we will use the trigonometric identity that states that 2 sine A sine B equals to cosine A minus B minus cosine A plus B. Minus cosine A plus B. And in our specific equation, A equals to 3x, B equals to 45 degrees minus x, so here we will get that 2 sine A sine B equals to cosine A minus B. A is 3x and B is 45 degrees minus x. So cosine A minus B will be equal to cosine A is 3x and B is 45 degrees minus x, so it is 3x minus x is 4x. And 0 minus 45 degrees is 45 degrees, so we got that cosinus 4x minus 45 degrees minus cosinus a plus b. A is 3x, b is 45 degrees minus x, so 3x plus minus x is 3x minus x, that is to say it equals to 2x. And 0 plus 45 degrees equals to 45 degrees. So we finished with the expression in the left side of equation number 1. Now we will go to the expression in the right side of equation number 1. Here, to sinus x sinus 3x plus 45 degrees, a equals to x, and b equals to 3x plus 45 degrees. So cosine a sine b is equal to cosine a minus b, so it is cosine a is x, b is 3x plus 45 degrees, so it is actually x minus 3x is minus 2x, and 0 minus 45 degrees is minus 45 degrees. So we actually got cosinus minus 2x plus 45 degrees. But according to the trigonometric identity that states that cosine minus x equals to cosine x, we will get that cosine minus 2x plus 45 degrees equals to cosine plus x to cosine plus 2x plus 45 degrees, because we changed the negative sign to a positive sign according to the formula that cosine minus x equals to cosine x. Okay, and then we have minus cosine a plus b, minus cosine a is x, b is 3x, so x plus 3x is 4x, and also we have 0 plus 45 degrees is plus 45 degrees. So in equation number 1 we have cosine 4x minus 45 degrees, and we have minus cosine 4x plus 45 degrees, so we will add cosine 4x plus 45 degrees to this equation, equation number 1. So it is actually plus cosinus 4x plus 45 degrees, and we have here minus cosinus 2x plus 45 degrees, so we will add to this equation, equation number 1, cosine 2x plus 45 degrees, So we will add cosine 2x plus 45 degrees to equation number 1, and we will get that cosine 2x plus 45 degrees plus cosine 2x plus 45 degrees equals to 2 cosine 2x plus 45 degrees. So here the expression cosine 4x minus 45 degrees plus cosine 4x plus 45 degrees is very similar to the trigonometric identity that cosine c plus cosine d equals to 2 cosine c plus d over 2 times cosine c minus d over 2. So I write the trigonometric identity. It says that cosine c plus cosine d equals to 2 cosine c plus d over 2 times cosine c minus d over 2. And in our specific expression, say c equals to 4x minus 45 degrees and d equals to 4x plus 45 degrees. So it equals to 2 cosine c plus d over 2 2 cosine c plus d is 4x plus 4x is 8x, and 8x over 2 is 4x, and minus 45 degrees plus 45 degrees is 0. And then we have also to multiply it by cosine c minus d over 2. So it is cosine c minus d is 4x minus 4x is 0, and minus 45 degrees is minus 90 degrees, and minus 90 degrees over 2 is minus 45 degrees. But because of the fact that cosine minus x equals to cosine x, you can change the negative sign to a positive sign. So here we will get that cosine minus 45 degrees equals to cosine 45 degrees. So we finished with this expression. Now we will move to the other expression, that is 2 cosine 2x plus 45 degrees. This expression is very similar to cosine a plus b, and cosine a plus b it is equal to cosine a cosine b minus sinus a times sinus b. And in our specific equation, a equals to 2x and b equals to 45 degrees. So cosine A plus B equals to cosine A cosine B, that is to say A is to x, so it is cosine 2x times cosine 45 degrees minus sine A times sine B. So it is minus sine 2x times sine 45 degrees. So here we will divide this equation number 1 by 2 cosine 45 degrees, and we'll get that here 2 cosine 45 degrees will cancel. And here also 2 cosine 45 degrees will get cancelled, and here also 2 sine 45 degrees is equals to cosine 45 degrees, so sine 45 degrees will get cancelled. And what is left of equation number 1 after we cancelled 2 cosine 45 degrees? What is left? It is actually cosine 4x equals to cosine 2x minus sine 2x. So here we will add to this equation number 1 sine 2x, and we will subtract cosine 4x, and we will get that sine 2x equals to cosine 2x minus cosine 4x. Okay. You know that sine 2x equals to 2 sine x cosine x, so I'll write it down. And cosine 2x minus cosine 4x is very similar to the trigonometric identity that states that cosine C minus cosine D is equal to 2 sine D plus C over 2 times sine D minus C over 2. So according to this trigonometric identity, we will get that in our specific equation C equals to 2x and D equals to 4x. So cosine C minus cosine D is 2 sine D plus C over 2, 2 sine D plus C over 2 is D is 4x, and C is 2x, so 4x plus 2x is 6x, and 6x over 2 is 3x. Times sine d minus c over 2. D is 4x, c is 2x, so 4x minus 2x is 2x, and 2x over 2 is x. So here we will divide this equation number 1 by 2 sine x. So 2 sine x will get cancelled here, and 2 sine x will get cancelled. And we will get that according to equation number 1, cosine x equals to sine 3x we have that geometric identity states that cosine alpha equals to sine 90 degrees minus alpha. According to this trigonometric identity, we will get that cosine x equals to sine 90 degrees minus x, and it equals to sine 3x. Sine 90 degrees minus x equals to sine 3x means that 90 degrees minus x equals to 3x. Here we will add to this equation number 1x, and we will get that 4x equals to 90 degrees. We will divide this equation number 1 by 4, and we will get that x equals to 90 degrees over 4. 90 degrees over 4 is 22.5 degrees. So we got that x equals to 22.5 degrees. Okay, the value of angle x is equal to 22.5 degrees. We finished with the first method. In the next step, I will present to you how to find out the value of angle x using the second method. In the second method, we will define this angle as alpha, this angle as beta as we did in the first method. Angle PSR equals to 135 degrees as we found out in the first method. And we know that the sum of the angles in any triangle is equal to 180 degrees. So if we focus on triangle PQS, we know that the sum of the angles in triangle PQS is equal to 180 degrees. That is to say, this triangle alpha plus 3x plus 45 degrees must be equal to 180 degrees. I will repeat again. In triangle PQS, the sum of the angles must be equal to 180 degrees. That is to say, alpha plus 3x plus 45 degrees equals to 180 degrees. We will subtract 45 degrees from this equation number 1, and we will get that alpha plus 3x equals to 180 degrees minus 45 degrees is equal to 135 degrees. And likewise, the sum of the angles in triangle PSR must be equal to 180 degrees. That is to say, beta plus 135 degrees, or beta plus x plus 135 degrees must be equal to 180 degrees. I'll repeat again, the sum of the angles in triangle PSR must be equal to 180 degrees. That is to say, beta plus x plus 135 degrees must be equal to 180 degrees. We will subtract 135 degrees from this equation number 2, and we will get that beta plus x equals to 180 degrees minus 135 degrees equals to 45 degrees. So here we will multiply by 3 equation number 2, and we will get that 3 beta plus 3x equals to 135 degrees. And according to equation number 1, alpha plus 3x equals to 135 degrees. So we can create equation number 3 that states that equation number 1 equals to equation number 2, because it has in one side 135 degrees in both the equations. So actually alpha plus 3x that equals to 135 degrees in equation number 1 must be equal to 3 beta plus 3x that equals to 135 degrees according to equation number 2. So here we will subtract 3x from this equation number 3, and we will get that alpha equals to 3 beta. So according to equation number 3, we got that alpha equals to 3 beta. So in the next step, we will draw a straight line from point Q to PR in such a way that the angle that we created equals to x. So here so the angle that was created here by the straight line is angle x, and therefore the rest must be equal to 3x minus x, that is to say is 2x. We will define the touching point between the straight line and side PR as point M. Triangle QMR is an isosceles triangle because it has two angles that are equal to each other. Both those two angles are equal to x. Therefore, the base of the isosceles triangle QMR is actually QR. We will join points M and S together by a straight line. MS, the segment line MS is the median of is the median to the base of the isosceles triangle QMS, and the median to the base QMS bisects the base, and indeed the median MS bisects the base because QS equals to SR according to what is given as the equation, but according to rule number 3, the median to the base in an isosceles triangle is also perpendicular to the base. That is to say, this angle will be equal to 90 degrees. This is a right angle. and this angle will be also equal to 90 degrees. Okay, so those two angles are right angles. In the next step, I will present to you a new rule, rule number 4. According to rule number 4, an exterior angle of a triangle is equal to the sum of the two angles that are not adjacent to it. So I will read rule number 4 again. According to rule number 4, an exterior angle of a triangle is equal to the sum of the two angles that are not adjacent to it. So what is the meaning of rule number 4? The meaning of rule number 4 is that if we have triangle ABC so this is triangle ABC. Triangle ABC has three interior angles, that is to say, this angle equals to alpha, this angle equals to beta, and this angle equals to gamma. Those are the three interior angles of triangle ABC. And triangle ABC has also an exterior angle, angle SAB. This angle is defined as an exterior angle because it is located outside the triangle, therefore it is defined as an exterior angle. And according to rule number 4, an exterior angle of a triangle, that is to say angle SAB, is equal to the sum of the two angles that are not adjacent to it. And the two angles that are not adjacent to this angle are alpha and beta, because angle gamma is adjacent to angle SAB. So those two angles that are not adjacent to the exterior angle SAB, and according to rule number 4, the value of the adjacent, the angle SAB equals to the sum of the two angles that are not adjacent to it, that is to say, it equals to alpha plus beta. So angle SAB equals to alpha plus beta. So actually we can implement rule number 4 in our drawing, because in our drawing we have the isosceles triangle, triangle QMR, and the angle PMQ. This angle is defined as an exterior angle of triangle QMR, and the value of the exterior angle PMQ is equal to the sum of the two angles that are not adjacent to it. That is to say, it equals to the sum of those two angles because those two angles are not adjacent to this external angle, and the sum of those two angles, the sum of those two angles that are not adjacent to this angle is actually x plus x. That is to say, the value of the external angle PMQ will be equal to x plus x, that is to say it equals to 2x. Okay? So we found out that angle PMQ equals to 2x. So those two angles, they are equal to each other. So in triangle PMQ is an isosceles triangle, and we know that in front of equal angles in a triangle there are equal sides. In front of those two equal angles, the sides that are located here is PQ and PM. And according to the rule that I mentioned, those two sides are equal to each other. That is to say PQ equals to PM. So we found out that PQ equals to PM. Okay. And in the next step, we will draw from point P perpendicular to QM, and then we will extend the perpendicular until it touches QS. Okay? So this is the perpendicular, then we will extend the perpendicular until it touches QS, and we will define the touching point between the perpendicular and QS as point N, and we will define the touching point between the perpendicular from P to QM as point L. So this is perpendicular, it means that this angle equals to 90 degrees, and this angle also equals to 90 degrees. Okay? So we will focus on those two triangles. We will focus on triangle QPL. And also this triangle PLM. On those two triangles, we have two angles that are equal to each other. They are both equal to 2x. So angle PQL, this angle equals to this angle that is actually angle PML, and both those two angles are equal to 2x. So here angle PQL equals to angle PML equals to 2x. Those two angles, they are also equal to each other. They are both equal to 90 degrees. So angle PLQ is equal to this angle that is actually angle PLM. And both those two angles are equal to 90 degrees. I repeat again. Angle PLQ equals to angle PLM, and both angles are equal to 90 degrees. They are right angles. And those two angles, actually this angle that is actually angle QPL will be equal to this angle that is actually angle PLQ PLM. Angle PLM. And those two angles will be equal to each other according to third angle theorem. So actually angle POPL equals to angle PLM according to third angle theorem. What is third angle theorem? Third angle theorem states that if two angles in one triangle congruent to two angles in another triangle, then the third pair of angles must also congruent. Why? Because it is complementary to 180 degrees. That is to say, the value of the third angle is equal to 180 degrees minus the sum of the two other angles, but the two other angles are equal in both triangles. So therefore, the third angle, the third pair of angles, will be also equal to each other in those two triangles. So that is to say, those two angles will be equal to each other. Okay, according to third angle theorem. So actually, first of all, the value of the angle in the red color, we will define it as theta. So this angle equals to theta according to our definition. And those two angles are equal to each other, therefore this angle will be also equal to theta. And you can see from the drawing that theta plus theta equals to alpha plus beta. Theta plus theta equals to alpha plus beta. Theta plus theta is 2 theta, and it equals to alpha plus beta. We've already found out, according to equation number 3, that alpha equals to 3 beta. So we can substitute alpha in this equation by 3 beta. We will do it and we will get that 2 theta equals to alpha is 3 beta plus beta. 3 beta plus beta equals to 4 beta. We will divide this equation by 2 and we will get that theta equals to 2 beta. Found out that theta equals to 2 beta. So we can write here that theta equals to 2 beta. And also here theta equals to 2 beta. So you can see easily from the drawing that theta minus beta equals to this angle that is actually angle NPS. Again, angle theta minus this angle that is angle beta equals to angle NPS. So angle theta equals to 2 beta. And this angle is beta, so 2 beta minus beta equals to beta. So we found out that this angle, that is actually angle NPS, equals to beta. Likewise, we have here angle MSN is a right angle, it equals to 90 degrees. So if we subtract from this right angle this angle that is actually angle PSN that equals to 45 degrees according to what is given us in the question, we will get the value of this angle. So 90 degrees minus 45 degrees equals to 45 degrees. So we found out that angle MSP equals to 45 degrees. Okay, so in the next step, we will prove the triangle PNS congruent to triangle PMS. I will draw those two triangles in a new page and we will prove that they congruent to each other. So we will prove that triangle PNS is congruent to triangle PMS. So we will prove the triangle PNS, the green triangle, is congruent to the white triangle that is actually triangle PMS. So I write it here, triangle PNS, the green triangle, congruent to the white triangle, triangle PMS. So why they congruent to each other? First of all, we know that those two angles, they are equal to each other. They are both equal to beta, so angle NPS on the green triangle is equal to angle MPS on the white triangle. And both angles are equal to beta. Angle MPS equals to angle MPS equals to beta. And we also have the common side. PS is common side, it belongs to both triangles, so PS equals to itself, to PS. It is a common side that belongs to both triangles. And we also have those two angles that are equal to each other, they are both equal to 45 degrees. So angle NSP of the green triangle is equal to angle MSP of the white triangle, and both those two angles are equal to 45 degrees. So we actually proved that the green triangle, triangle PNS, congruent, this is the sign of congruent, to the white triangle, triangle PMS, according to angle side angle rule. So I'll repeat again. We actually proved that the green triangle, triangle PNS, congruent to the white triangle, triangle PMS, according to angle side angle rule. So what is angle side angle rule? Angle side angle rule is that if you prove that two sides and the angle that included between them in one triangle congruent to two angles and the angle that included in another triangle, then you prove that those two triangles congruent to each other according to angle side angle rule. And here we proved that those two angles and the angle between them, that is to say angle, those two angles and the side that is between them, that is to say PS, in the green triangle, congruent to those two angles and the side that is between those two angles, that is to say PS, in the y triangle. Therefore, we prove that those two triangles can go into each other according to angle side angle rule. And from the fact that those two triangles can go into each other, we will conclude that NS equals to MS. NS equals to MS according to the rule that corresponding sides of y triangles are equal to each other. Those two triangles can go into each other, therefore the corresponding sides, that is to say NS and MS, will be equal to each other. Okay, so in the next step we will connect points M and M to get M and N together by a straight line, and I will draw the right triangle M and S in a new page. So here we'll connect points M and N together by a straight line. We have already found out that NS equals to MS. NS equals to MS. So I will draw the right triangle N and S in the new page. So this will be triangle NSM. This is a right triangle. So NS equals to MS. So in this right triangles, we know that NS equals to MS. This angle is 90 degrees. And we have the rule that in front of equal sides in the triangle there are equal angles. In front of these two equal sides, those two angles are located and they are equal to each other. So those two angles are equal to each other. So if we define one angle as y, then the other angle will be also equal to y because they are equal to each other. And according to the rule that the sum of the angles in any triangle is equal to 180 degrees, we will get that y plus y must be equal to 90 degrees, because 90 degrees plus 90 degrees must be equal to 180 degrees. So we will get that y plus y, that is 2y, must be equal to 90 degrees in order to complete the sum of the angles in triangle NSM to 180 degrees. 2y equals to 90 degrees. We will divide this equation by 2 and we will get that y equals to 45 degrees. So we found out that this angle, that is actually angle SNM, equals to 45 degrees. And the other angle also equals to 45 degrees. So we can write here that this angle equals to 45 degrees. And this angle also equal to 45 degrees. So here, angle M and S equals to 45 degrees. Angle M and S equals to 45 degrees. And this angle also equals to 45 degrees. Okay? So, in the next step, we will prove that triangle PQN congruent to triangle PMN. So I will draw the two triangles together and we will prove that they can congruent to each other. Okay, so triangle PQN congruent to triangle PMN. Or the green triangle PQN, congruent to the white triangle PNM. Okay, the green triangle PQN, congruent to the white triangle PNM. So why those two triangles congruent to each other? First of all, we have PQ equals to PM. PQ equals to PM. We already found out that PQ equals to PM. PQ equals to PM, according to what we have already found out. Those two angles are equal to each other. They are both equal to 2 theta, to 2 beta. So angle QPN is equal to angle NPM, and both angles are equal to 2 beta. Again, angle QPN equals to angle NPM, they are both equal to 2 beta. And we have a common side, PN equals to PN. PN equals to PN is a common side that belongs to both triangles. So actually, we proved that the green triangle PQN is congruent to the white triangle PNM. PNM according to side angle side rule. So I will bring a couple of pages. So we actually proved that the green triangle PQN congruent to the white triangle PNM according to side angle side rule. So what is side angle side rule? Side angle side rule is that if you prove the two sides and the angle between them, the angle between those two sides in one triangle congruent to two sides and the angle between them in another triangle, then you actually proved that those two triangles congruent to each other according to side angle side rule. And we actually proved that those two sides, that is to say PQ and PN, and the angle between them, that is to say 2 beta in the green triangle, congruent to those two sides, that is to say PM and PN, and the angle between them, that is to say 2 beta in the white triangle. Therefore we prove that those two triangles congruent to each other according to side angle side rule. And from the fact that those two triangles congruent to each other, we will conclude that QN equals to NM. QN equals to NM. So I will connect points Q and M together by a straight line, and I will draw triangle Q and M in a new page. So right here that Qn equals to Nm, Qn equals to Nm, so I will draw again triangle QMN in a new page. So this is triangle Q and M, and we found out that Qn equals to Mn, and we have the rule that in front of equal sides in the triangle there are equal angles. So in front of those two equal sides there are equal angles. That is to say, those two angles that are located in front the equal sides must be equal to each other. But this angle is equal to x. So this angle must be also equal to x, because they are equal to each other. And here we have also, this is point S. So in triangle QMN, we have those two angles, and this angle are the interior angles, and angle MNS is the exterior angle of triangle QMN. And according to rule number 4, the value of the exterior angle, this angle MNS, according to rule number 4, it equals to the sum of the angles that are not adjacent to it. And the two angles that are not adjacent to this angle, angle MNS, are those two angles, because this angle is adjacent to it. So those two, the sum of those two angles is x plus x. So the value of the exterior angle MNS is 2x. So we found out that angle MNS, the exterior angle MNS of triangle QMN, is equal to 2x from one side, but we have already found out that angle MNS, this angle is equal to 45 degrees. Angle MNS equals to 45 degrees. So from this equation, we will conclude that 2x equals to 45 degrees. 2x equals to 45 degrees. We will divide this equation by 2, and we will get that x equals to 45 degrees over 2. 45 degrees over 2 is 22.5 degrees. So we found out that the value of angle x is 22.5 degrees according to the second method, and in both methods we found out that the value of angle x is 22.5 degrees, is equal to 22.5 degrees. Okay, so now I'll summarize the lecture. Actually, we wanted to find out the value of angle x, and we found it in two different methods. In the first method, we defined angle QPS is alpha, angle SPR is beta, and this angle we define as Y. We know that this angle equals to 45 degrees, but this angle is not given to us, so we have to find it. And we'll find it according to the rule that the sum of the angles on one side of a straight line is equal to 180 degrees. So the sum of the angles on the upper side of the straight line QR at point S must be equal to 180 degrees. So which angles we have on the upper side of the straight line QR at point S? We have 45 degrees plus Y. So 45 degrees plus Y equals to 180 degrees according to the rule that I mentioned. 45 degrees plus Y equals to 180 degrees. We subtracted 45 degrees from this equation and we got that angle Y equals to 135 degrees. So we found out that this angle equals to 135 degrees. Then I presented to you a new rule. I'll show you the law of sines. And the law of sines is true in any triangle. So in any triangle, if you have this triangle, that could be any triangle, the length of this side is A units, the length of this side is B units, and the length of this side is C units. Then according to the law of sines, A over sine A equals to B over sine B equals to C over sine C. We can derive from this formula that A over sine A equals to B over sine B. If we divide this equation by B and we will multiply it by sinus A, we will get that A over B equals to sine A over sine B. What is the meaning of this equation? The meaning of this equation is that the ratio between the side lengths of any triangle is equal to the ratio between the opposite angles. Okay? The ratio between the side lengths, that is to say A over B, equals to the ratio between the opposite sides, that is to say it equals to sine A over sine B. Then we return to our original drawing. In our original drawing, we can create the equation that states that PS over QS equals to PS over SR. Okay, PS over QS equals to PS over SR. Why this equation is true? This equation is true because of the fact that it is given us the equation that QS equals to SR. But according to the thing that we concluded, that the ratio between the lengths, the side lengths of any triangle equals to the ratio between the opposite angles, we can conclude that if we focus on triangle PQS, then PS over SR will be equal to sine 3x over sine alpha. PS over SR equals to sine 3x over sine alpha. And if we focus on triangle PSR, then PS over SR, in triangle PSR, PS over SR will be equal to sine x over sine beta. Okay, here PS over SR equals to sine x over sine beta. So we got this equation number 1. And we know that the sum of the angles in any triangle is equal to 180 degrees. So in triangle PQS, the sum of the angles is 180 degrees. That is to say alpha plus 3x plus 45 degrees equals to 180 degrees. We subtracted 3x and also 45 degrees from this equation number 2, and we got that alpha equals to 180 degrees minus 3x plus 45 degrees. Likewise, we know that the sum of the angles in triangle PSR must be equal to 180 degrees, that is to say beta plus x plus 135 degrees must be equal to 180 degrees. We subtracted 125 degrees and also x from this equation number 3, and we got that beta equals to 45 degrees minus x. So after we found out the value of alpha and beta, we can substitute alpha and beta in this equation by the values that we found for alpha and beta in equation number 2 and equation number 3. So we did it here, and we got that sine 3x over sine alpha, and alpha is 180 degrees minus 3x plus 45 degrees. According to equation number 2, it equals to sine x over sine beta, and beta, according to equation number 3, equals to 45 degrees minus x. And according to the trigonometric identity, that sinus 180 degrees minus theta equals to sinus theta, we will get that sinus 180 degrees minus 3x plus 45 degrees equals to sine 3x plus 45 degrees. So we changed this expression to sine 3x plus 45 degrees. Here in this equation number 1, sine 3x over sine 3x plus 45 degrees equals to sine x over sine 45 degrees minus x. We cross multiply the equation number 1 and we got this expression. Then we multiply this expression by 2 and we got this expression. We simplify this expression according to the trigonometric identity that states that 2 sine A sine B equals to cosine A minus B minus cosine A plus B. Here in our specific expression, A equals to 3x, B equals to 45 degrees minus x, so 2 sine A sine B equals to cosine A minus B. What is cosine A minus B? A is 3x, B is 45 minus x, so A minus B is 3x minus x is 4x, and 0 minus 45 degrees is minus 45 degrees, so we got here cosinus 4x minus 45 degrees, and we also have to subtract cosine A minus cosine, subtract cosine A plus B. What is A plus B? A is 3x, B is 45 degrees minus x, so A plus B is 3x plus minus x is 2x, and 0 plus 45 degrees is 45 degrees, so in conclusion we got that it equals to 2x plus 45 degrees. So we finished with this expression, then we treated this expression to sine x sine 3x plus 45 degrees. Here A equals to x and B equals to 3x plus 45 degrees, so cosine A minus B, A is x and B is 3x plus 45 degrees, so A minus B is x minus 3x is minus 2x, and 0 minus 45 degrees is minus 45 degrees. So we got here cosine minus 2x plus 45 degrees. So we have here minus before the expression, but we know that cosine minus x is equal to cosine x, so we can turn the negative sign to a positive sign. So we did it and we got cosine 2x plus 45 degrees, and we also have to subtract cosine A plus B. What is cosine A plus B? A is x and B is 3x plus 45 degrees. X plus 3x is 4x, and 0 plus 45 degrees is 45 degrees. So we got here that cosine 4x plus 45 degrees. Okay. Then here we have cosine 4x minus 45 degrees, so we put it here. Then we have here minus cosine 2x, we have here cosine minus cosine 45 degrees plus x, so we added to this equation cosine 4x plus 45 degrees, and we have here minus cosine 2x plus 45 degrees, so we added to this equation cosine 2x plus 45 degrees, cosine 2x plus 45 degrees plus cosine 2x plus 45 degrees equals to 2 cosine 2x plus 45 degrees. Okay. Then this expression cosine 4x minus 45 degrees plus cosine 4x plus 45 degrees is very similar to the trigonometric identity of cosine C plus cosine D. This expression cosine 2x plus 45 degrees is similar to expression of cosine A plus B. So we used the trigonometric identities that states that cosine C plus cosine D equals to 2 cosine C plus D over 2 times cosine C minus D over 2. In our specific expression, C equals to 4x minus 45 degrees and D equals to 4x plus 45 degrees. So cosine C plus cosine D equals to 2 cosine C plus D over 2. C plus D over 2 is 4x plus 4x is 8x and 8x over 2 is 4x. And 45 degrees minus 45 degrees is 0. So we left only with 4x. 2 cosine 4x. And we also have to multiply it by cosine C minus D over 2. C minus D. C is 4x minus 45 degrees and D is 4x plus 45 degrees. So 4x minus 4x is 0. And minus 45 degrees is minus 90 degrees. And minus 90 degrees over 2 is minus 45 degrees. But because of the fact that cosine minus x is equal to cosine x, we can turn cosine minus 45 degrees to cosine 45 degrees, so we did it. And then we treated the expression of 2 cosine 2x plus 45 degrees. In cosine 2x plus 45 degrees, a equals to 2x and b equals to 45 degrees. And according to the trigonometric identity, cosine A plus B equals to cosine A cosine B minus sine A times sine B. A equals to 2x and B equals to 45 degrees. So it equals to cosine A. Cosine A is cosine 2x and cosine B is cosine 45 degrees minus 2 sine A is 2x and B is 45 degrees, so it is minus 2 sine 2x sine 45 degrees. Then we divided this equation number 1 by 2 cosine 45 degrees, so here 2 cosine 45 degrees cancelled, also here 2 cosine 45 degrees cancelled, and here also 2 sine 45 degrees cancelled because of the fact that sine 45 degrees is equal to cosine 45 degrees. So we left only with cosine 4x that equals to cosine 2x minus sine 2x. We added to this equation number 1 sine 2x, and we subtract that cosine 4x, and we got that sine 2x equals to cosine 2x minus cosine 4x. Okay, and sine 2x equals to 2 sine x cosine x, and cosine 2x minus cosine 4x, it is actually equal to, according to the trigonometric identity, it equals to 2 sine d plus c over 2 times sine d minus c over 2. So c equals to 2x and d equals to 4x. So 2 sine d plus c over 2 is 2x plus 4x over 2. 2x plus 4x is 6x, and 6x over 2 is 3x. And then we have sine d minus c over 2. D is 4x, c is 2x, so d minus c is 4x minus 2x. 4x minus 2x is 2x, and 2x over 2 is x. So in conclusion, we got here 2 sine 3x times sine x. So we divided this equation by 2 sine x, and we got that we got the equation that cosine x equals to sine 3x. And we have the trigonometric identity that cosine alpha equals to sine 90 degrees minus alpha. So according to this trigonometric identity, we will get that cosine x equals to sine 90 degrees minus x. and we got that cosine to sine 90 degrees minus x equals to sine 3x. It means that 90 degrees minus x equals to 3x. We added x to this equation number 1, and we got that 4x equals to 90 degrees. We divided this equation by 4, and we got that x equals to 90 degrees over 4, that is to say x equals to 22.5 degrees. So we found out that the value of angle x is 22.5 degrees according to the first method. We finished with the first method, then I presented to you how to find out the value of angle x according to the second method. In the second method, we actually we defined this angle as alpha, this angle as beta, as we did in the first method, and we have already found out that this angle equals to 135 degrees. And we also know that the sum of the angles in any triangle is equal to 180 degrees. That is to say, in triangle PSQ, alpha plus 3x plus 45 degrees equals to 180 degrees. We subtracted 45 degrees from this equation number 1, and we got that alpha plus 3x equals to 135 degrees according to equation number 1. Likewise, in triangle PSR, the sum of the angles must be equal to 180 degrees. That is to say, beta plus x plus 135 degrees must be equal to 180 degrees according to equation number 2. We subtracted 135 degrees from this equation number 2, and we got that beta plus x equals to 45 degrees. We multiplied by 3 equation number 2, and we got that 3 beta plus 3x equals to 135 degrees. So we have 135 degrees on both equations, equation number 1 and equation number 2. So we can say that equation number 1 is equal to equation number 2. Okay, equation number 3 states that equation number 1 is equal to equation number 2, that is to say alpha plus 3x equals to 3 beta plus 3x. We subtracted 3x from this equation number 3, and we got that alpha equals to 3 beta. Then we made a construction. Actually, from point Q, we draw a straight line to PR in such a way that angle MQR will be equal to x. Okay, so if angle MQR equals to x, then triangle MQR is an isosceles triangle because it has two angles that are equal to each other. They are both equal to x. We joined points M and S together by a straight line. And by the way, QR is the base of the isosceles triangle QMR. Because those two angles are equal to each other, therefore QR is the base. So MS is the median to the base of the isosceles triangle QMS. And therefore it is perpendicular to the base because the median to the base in any isosceles triangle is perpendicular to the base. That is to say, this angle equals to 90 degrees and this angle also equals to 90 degrees. Then I presented to you rule number 4. According to rule number 4, an exterior angle of a triangle is equal to the sum of the two angles that are not adjacent to it. So what is the meaning of rule number 4? The meaning of rule number 4 is that if we have triangle ABC, that can be any triangle, angles alpha, beta, and gamma are the interior angles of triangle ABC, and angle SAB is the exterior angle of triangle ABC. And according to rule number 4, an exterior angle of a triangle, that is to say triangle SAB, angle SAB is equal to the sum of the two angles that are not adjacent to it. So according to rule number 4, the value of angle SAB is equal to the sum of the two angles that are not adjacent to it. And the two angles that are not adjacent to it are those two angles, because this angle is adjacent to it. So the sum of those two angles are alpha and beta, is alpha plus beta. So according to rule number 4, the value of angle SAB is equal to the sum of the two angles that are not adjacent to it, that is to say it equals to alpha plus beta. So the value of the external angle SAB is alpha plus beta. So we can implement rule number 4 in our triangle. In our drawing, we have the isosceles triangle QMS, and those two angles and this angle are the interior angles, and angle PMQ is defined as the exterior angle, and the value of the exterior angle PMQ according to rule number 4, it will be equal to the sum of the two angles that are not adjacent to it. This angle is adjacent to it, and the other two angles that are not adjacent to it are those two angles, and the sum of those two angles is x plus x. And according to rule number 4, the value of angle PMQ is the sum of the two angles that are not adjacent to it, that is to say it equals to x plus x, that is to say it equals to 2x. So angle PMQ equals to 2x, and this angle also equals to 2x, therefore this is an isosceles triangle, and PMQ is an isosceles triangle, and we know that in front of equal angles in the triangle there are equal sides, that is to say PQ equals to PM, PQ equals to PM. Then we draw perpendicular from point P to QM, that is to say this angle equals to 90 degrees, this angle equals to 90 degrees, we define this point as L, we extended the perpendicular, and the touching point between QS and the perpendicular is defined as point N. Then we proved that those two triangles are similar to each other, triangle PQL and triangle PLM. Angle PQL equals to angle PML equals to 2x. Those two angles that are both equal to each other, they are equal to 2x. And those two angles that are equal to each other, they are both equal to 90 degrees. Angle PLQ equals to angle PLM equals to 90 degrees. And those two angles, they are equal to each other according to third angle theorem. Third angle theorem states that if two angles in one triangle congruent to two angles in another triangle, then the third pair of angles must also congruent. Why? Because it is complementary to 180 degrees. It is actually equals to 180 degrees minus the sum of the two other angles, but the two other angles are equal to each other. Therefore, the two angles, the third pair of angles, also must equal to each other. So those two angles, they are equal to each other according to third angle theorem. From the drawing you can see that theta plus theta equals to alpha plus beta. Theta plus theta equals to alpha plus beta. Theta plus theta is 2 theta. 2 theta equals to alpha plus beta. We already found out that alpha equals to 3 beta according to equation number 3. So we can substitute alpha by 3 beta in this equation. We did it and we got that 2 theta equals to 3 beta plus beta. 2 theta equals to 4 beta. We divided this equation by 2 and we got that theta equals to 2 beta. Here theta equals to 2 beta. Here also theta equals to 2 beta. And what is the value of angle NPS? The value of angle NPS is angle theta minus angle beta. Angle theta minus angle beta equals to angle NPS. Angle theta equals to 2 beta. Angle beta is angle beta. So 2 beta minus beta equals to beta. So we found out that angle NPS equals to beta. Likewise here we have angle MSN that equals to 90 degrees. Angle PSN equals to 45 degrees. And the value of angle PSM will be equal to 90 degrees minus 45 degrees. That is to say it equals to 45 degrees. So those two angles are both equal to 45 degrees and those two angles are both equal to beta. Then we proved that triangle PNS is congruent to triangle PMS. I drew those two triangles in a new page, and we proved that the green triangle PNS is congruent to the white triangle PMS. Why they congruent to each other? First of all, we have those two angles that are equal to each other, they are both equal to beta. So angle NPS equals to angle NPS equals to beta. And we have PS is a common side that belongs to both triangles, so PS equals to PS is a common side that belongs to both triangles, and those two angles are equal to each other, they are both equal to 45 degrees. So angle NSP equals to angle MSP equals to 45 degrees. So we prove that those two triangles can go into each other according to angle side angle rule. What is angle side angle rule? Angle side angle rule states that if two angles in the side that included between them in one triangle can go into two angles in the side that included in another triangle, then the two triangles can go into each other according to angle side angle rule. And we proved that those two angles in the side between them, that is to say PS in the right triangle, can go into those two angles and the side that is included between them, that is to say side PS in the green triangle. Therefore we proved that those two triangles can go into each other according to angle side angle rule. From the fact that those two triangles can go into each other, we will conclude that MS equals to SN according to the rule that corresponding sides in congruent triangles are equal to each other. Those two triangles can go into each other, therefore the corresponding sides NS and MS will be equal to each other. Then I connected together points M and N by a straight line, and I drew triangle MNS in a new page. This is a right triangle. Triangle MNS is a right triangle, and we know that MS equals to NS. And we have the rule that in front of equal sides in the triangle, there are in front of equal sides in the triangle, there are equal angles. That is to say, those two angles that are located in front the equal sides, they must be equal to each other. So if this angle is y, then this angle must be also equal to y, because they are equal to each other. So y plus y, that is to say 2y, must be equal to 90 degrees in order to complete the sum of the angles in this triangle to 180 degrees. That is to say 90 degrees here plus 90 degrees here will be equal to 180 degrees. So 2y equals to 90 degrees. We divided this equation by 2 and we got that y equals to 45 degrees. That is to say those two angles are equal to 45 degrees. Here we can write that angle M and S, this angle M and S equals to 45 degrees, and this angle also equals to 45 degrees. So NS equals to MS. Then we actually proved that triangle PQN is congruent to triangle PNM. We drew these two triangles together and we proved that they can go into each other. We proved that the green triangle, triangle PQN, is congruent to the white triangle, triangle PMN. Why they can go into each other? First of all, we have already found out that PQ equals to PM. As you can see here, PQ equals to PM. So PQ equals to PM. Those two angles are equal to each other, they are both equal to 2 beta, so angle NPQ equals to angle NPM equals to 2 beta. And PN is a common side, it belongs to both triangles, so it equals to itself. So we proved that those two triangles can go into each other according to side angle side rule. What is side angle side rule? Side angle side rule is that if you prove that two sides and the angle between those two sides in one triangle can go into two sides and the angle between those two sides in another triangle, then you proved that those two triangles can go into each other according to side angle side rule. And we proved that those two sides, that is to say PM and PN and the angle between them, that is to say 2 beta in the white triangle, can go into those two sides, that is to say PN and PQ, and the angle between them, that is to say PQ, and the angle between them, that is to say 2 beta in the green triangle. Therefore we proved that those two triangles can go into each other according to side angle side rule. Therefore we can conclude from the fact that those two triangles can go into each other that MN equals to NQ. MN equals to NQ. So I drew triangle, we connected together points M and Q by a straight line, and I drew in a new page triangle QMN. this is triangle QMN. We know that angle MQN equals to X, angle MQN equals to X, and this point is point S. So we know that in triangle MQN, MN equals to NS. And we have the rule that in front of equal sides in the triangle there are equal angles. That is to say, those two sides are equal to each other, therefore they are located in front of equal angles. That is to say, those two angles also must be equal to each other because they are located in front of equal sides. So those two angles must be equal to each other, but this angle is X. And those two angles are equal to each other. So this angle must be equal also to X. So those two angles are both equal to X. And according to rule number 4, the value of the exterior angle, angle M and S, equals to the sum of the two angles that are not adjacent to it. That is to say, it equals to X plus X. It equals to 2X. So from one side, angle M and S equals to 2X according to rule number 4. But from the other side, we have already found out that angle M and S equals to 45 degrees. So we have the equation that 45 degrees equals to M and S equals to 2X. So from this equation, we will derive that 2X equals to 45 degrees. We divided this equation by 2 and we got that X equals to 45 degrees over 2. That is to say, X equals to 22.5 degrees. So we found out that the value of angle X is 22.5 degrees, and we found out that in both methods the value of angle X is actually 22.5 degrees. Okay, thank you very much.